Hi folks, I just wanted to give you a quick run through of using Screenflow to capture and caption and prepare a Google Hangout. So this is a Google Hangout that I did with some folks from Rabble, and we weren't recording this to be broadcast, but it will give you an idea of some of the pitfalls, but also some of the good things about recording a Google Hangout. So this, in the main section here, is a Hangout, and you can see that there are 5 participants in the Hangout: Duncan, Kim, Matt, Nora, and Wayne. And down here you can see the track of the actual Hangout and then the built-in microphone, which is my side of the conversation being recorded as well. And that's set up just in the setup pull down in Screenflow. You can set up which microphones you want to record. So what I wanted to show you here is I've added some text tracks. So here, this text track here, which I've just highlighted, is what I'm doing for the using for the lower thirds of all the names. And you can actually see, if I move this around, that it's actually one piece of text that I've sort of spaced out. And I'm just going to move that with my cursor keys to get it back in the right position. So that's a good way of showing who's on the call, and it's easy to do in Screenflow. Then the second thing I wanted to show you was this that I've just highlighted here is just a graphic that I grabbed from the Rabble website, and it shows you, it's sort of like a bug on television, right? That shows you the brand. And then finally up here I've got the right here it is. These are lower thirds that I brought in when a person speaks, so you could actually organize that and move it into place when somebody's speaking for the first time. You don't have to do it every time. And I brought another one in here, I think, for Kim, and I can put that where I want it for Kim Elliott when she's speaking. And I think I've got a final track here somewhere. Yes, planning our conference right there, which is this one here, and this sits through the entire video. As you can see, it's parallel to this and the same length as the actual video down here, right? And so it allows you to sit that up in the corner, and it's balanced with the bug down here, so it makes use of that space. The other thing I wanted to show you is that I've cropped the video 1280 by 720, and that's the standard 16:9 format for 720p video, so that when it plays on YouTube, it'll actually play in the 16:9 ratio without black bars or letterboxing, as it's called. So I've cropped all that. I've put in all the lower thirds and also the bugs in place, and now I can just export that. So if I go up to File here, I can just say export, and it will, when I ask it to export at 100% and in high format here, I click on export, and it'll go out and it will save it as an MOV file or an MP4 file, which you could bring into Avid if you wanted to, but there's no need to really, because that file is ready to go and it looks pretty good. So it's just ready to take out to YouTube and make use of. So to summarize, I brought the entire Screenflow, or sorry, the entire Google Hangout in here. I cropped it down 720 or 1280 by 720 to just around the image boxes here and the main window here, and put in my captioning and my bug and my titling here. The other thing I wanted you to notice is that if I was actually recording this for use on broadcast, Kim looks pretty good. Nora here, her head isn't the same proportion as Kim, so you notice, the shot is she's got her forehead cropped. Kim doesn't. Matt is somewhere in between, and Duncan, who's using an iPad here, is completely out of the picture because he's not really aware of being videoed, I don't think. Otherwise he wouldn't do it that way, I don't think. And I'm sort of cropped very similar to Matt, although I've got a little harsher lighting coming in off a side light here. So really, if I was recording this for real, I would have asked everybody to move in a little closer, a little farther apart, or adjust their camera or lighting so that we've got sort of consistent lighting across the whole experience. And I'm just going to play a bit of this now so you can see how it plays out.
Impression is, right?
Yeah, like we just one of the things I'd be afraid of is people thinking that it is just another straight goods conference, or of course like the Canadian Association of Labor Media, which only talks about a lot of this stuff as well, and they are national
see the lower thirds at the bottom look pretty good.
And we're drawing from the same pool of
taking
people.
notes there. That's
I don't necessarily think coming up with ideas that are not just social media is necessarily more ambitious. I think the details will obviously dictate that, and I'm not sure we're at a point where we're even able to talk about details other than, do we agree we should have a conference? Do we want to pick a general theme? Do we want to pick a general keynote? Location,
and again, I would ask people in the Hangout to sort of look at the camera more than Nora is there. So we're going to switch to Kim now. That's an automatic switch.
What we do bring that's different is that if we're looking at social media, we're not just looking at social media in a technological kind of way. We're looking at what rather brings in principle is the politics, right? And that political edge.
You can see Kim's bandwidth is a little lower than Nora's, so she's, and same with Matt's, that she's pixelating a bit on the switch. And that's a function of bandwidth more than anything else. So ideally,
so to bring in speakers, like a combination of people who are just really good at what they do in terms of sharing the skills, but also people who can help explain the political.
You can actually, as moderator of the discussion, and I think you'll see some of that coming up, you can actually click on somebody and override the audio switching so that you can bring somebody to the fore. Or maybe that's what I'm doing now, right? I just brought Matt up just by clicking on him. Now I'm going to bring Nora up just by clicking on her, which I think is going to happen in a second. There it goes. So that's me. You can see the cursor
or if you need to kind of
going back to Kim. So that's me as moderator switching things up.
I feel like those kinds of,
which is a good thing to do, but you have to sort of pay attention to that.
Would be important to have too. And I see things like how do you frame a message as
Nora.
Different.
So just an idea of how to use Screenflow
how do you operate a video camera on a live stream.
Again, we weren't recording this for broadcast, but it just gives you a sense of how it works. Hope that's helpful. Talk to you later. Bye bye.